Looks like Renmar is correct. It's Wise as Fredrinn jungle against Carl Tizzy's Karina.
How is this going to work out, Renmar? How is Fredrinn jungle, for those wondering at home?
Well, the thing with Fredrinn jungle, based on what we've seen, is it's really just being able to maximize the Appraiser's Wrath. It's funny because, of course, when you're in the objective team fights, you'd want to disrupt the jungle as much as possible. But usually how the team fight goes is, if you take too much damage away from the main objective, say the Turtle or the Lord, by the time you get the Fredrinn low, he'll have the chance to use the Appraiser's Wrath on the main objective. It's sort of like the lethal counter of Obama. Not exactly. It's not true damage. It's still going to be physical damage being dealt out. But it's that same idea of maximizing your ultimate and timing it with your retribution.
Yeah, so with that being said, Wise is here with priority on the early game. Look at the pull from Yawi.
Yawi already gave the pull. Can Benikini get the last shot? And he does. Benikini with the first on blood. But will they pay for it? Oheb trying to get revenge. Can't get it, though. And they're still going. Wise here. Benikini trying to get back to base. Wise gets pulled in the turret. Double kill already. Carl Tizzy making a triple. Talk about a start 1 minute into the game.
That was a double. That was a double on my Venus.
Yeah, and that's a triple for Carl Tizzy. If we're talking about statements with Blacklist International coming out here with their World Championship jersey, Carl Tizzy just started this off with a triple kill.
Just imagine that early game. The Turtle hasn't arrived yet, but the Samsung Awesome Valid prediction is up. Who will score more assists? Comment down with hashtag Samsung, and Awesome always wins right now.
Haji or Sanji, who will get more assists? That's a question for the prediction.
Oh, man. I mean, talk about a strong start here for the Echo Express. 3 kills early on to Carl Tizzy, setting him up for this first Turtle. Wise tries to go and can't get it. Turtle's going to be secured by Carl Tizzy. Now the focus on Wise. Edward. Here comes Edward. Look at the damage. It's so much. And there's the double from Edward. Scissor hands.
Scissor hands. Agent Zero, the man with many names, the man who does so much for Blacklist International. An absolutely key early rotation for Edward to help secure those 2 kills.
How urgent is the game right now? Because as of this moment, Blacklist International and Echo is clearly exchanging kills and trades objective early on.
Oh, man. Talk about, again, going back to the point of how this game is going to be, how this series, we were talking about yesterday's series. Now look at this one. Already a 3-4, still very minuscule gold lead for Blacklist International. Doesn't really matter at this point because still, Carl Tizzy with those 3 other kills is going to help them out. Edward still trying to make a situation here in the mid side. But again, how does this all play out into these next objectives into the mid-game?
Well, right now there's a lot of pressure into the lane of Benikini with Echo closer to top side. This might be scrappy happenings here up top if anyone decides to force this out. Oh, Wise gets pulled back, but of course he'll be able to dash on out of there.
You know, right now it's Echo is always on the focus on getting these objectives because as you've mentioned earlier, there's a lot of things to be utilized as being a Fredrinn on Wise. So this like slows down a bit of Blacklist International's momentum, but oh my Venus, he's gonna get caught once again.
Already getting that time's journey out, still able to survive here. Luckily had the Cult Altar there too, Haji, and now just waiting patiently. But Echo is going to give the signal to go back and regen because you got the Turtle coming up in about 19 seconds.
Yeah, let's see what Echo are going to do here with Blacklist having better positioning for the second Turtle of the match. It looks like they'll be able to get close enough. Still waiting for the buffs to respawn. No purple buff yet up for both junglers. Seems like Carl Tizzy will be able to get that first, or no, they're going to be positioning for the Turtle. They want to prioritize that. Let's see if Carl Tizzy has a vibe that Wise is still getting his orange buff. Both teams still looking for an opening here.
Well, speaking of positioning, looks like Echo is going to get here on the first side, on their other side rather, to get this Turtle onto their way. But Edward and Haji, they have been, there's always connection with these 2 guys and having a one big, setup that they can get for Wise.
Yawi trying to just gain the attention he can. He's going to go ahead and flicker out. Turtle's going to be secured up by Carl Tizzy here. Nice distraction coming out from Echo. Able to secure them another Turtle here. Blacklist International playing a little bit safe. Haji's going to flicker her out. Should be fine. There you go, right? You're wondering if who's going to get the feathered airstrike off. Sanji doesn't connect on that one, but he gets the flicker out.
All right, so now we're at the point of this game where you'd want to see Echo or Blacklist being able to convert major objectives into, well, even more objectives. So that's why Echo are going for a 3-man rotation up top to potentially get the tower up top or get a kill onto Hoheb.
Carl T is going to push this one in, trying to get the time journey. It's not there, available to him. Under the turret, Oh My Venus falls. Oheb trying to help out. The rest of the team comes. Feathered airstrike coming down. Yaoi falls. It's going to be the 1-for-1 trade this early on in the top side. Carl TZ, Edward Scissorhands.
He's trying to chase him down.
Even Stevens, though, that was roamer for roamer, so both teams are okay with that. This is a very close game still. The next team to win a big skirmish or massive team fight. Oh, Oheb!
He's gonna get in trouble here.
Oh, man, Betty Cutie able to get that kill. There's so much pressure here on the top side from both teams. I mean, it's just one after another, but Echo still leading by a small amount.
Yeah, big opening here for Echo, but Blacklist International are covering that gold lane well, knowing that if that gold lane tower falls first, it's going to be bad news for Blacklist.
Carl TZ
going in.
Too.
He's going to back off here for now. There was the backup from Sanford, but they're just going to disengage here. Edward trying to do work again. If you take a look at yesterday's series, the amount of work that Edward did on the Benedetta was quite entertaining. It was also a huge value for the team.
Yeah, that means Edward's fingers probably, hopefully, he got a lot of rest last night because he went all out yesterday.
Yeah.
Maybe he iced them up for some quick recovery. You need to do that, and he's continuing it again today. Seems like fingers got a lot of rest and he's ready to go. But what I'm looking at here is the problem for Blacklist later on this Esmeralda. Right now, they don't have the tools to be disruptive or to be able to burst down that Esmeralda quick enough. And Oh My Venus almost down.
Wow.
Will the queen be bursted down? But the Lord or the turtle here is going to be taken.
Is going to be taken by Wise. This could just be Echo backing off here, and they're not sure if they want to contest anything else after losing that. Benny Cutie also picking up a big item here. Oheb taking quite a bit of damage. Blazing Duet comes out, able to survive for now in that 2 versus 1.
Yaoi committing a lot of his rotations to the top side, to the lane of Benny Cutie. They know they have to delay that Claude as much as possible and speed up the farming of their Irithel. Still a very close game. No team is giving away that big turnaround loss or victory. Athena Shield was the first item picked up here by Yaoi so that they reduce the damage coming out of the Farsa and the Diggy. Already 2 main items for the Claude locked in. Yaoi in a bad spot.
Yeah, that's 4.
Oh, Yaoi's going to be in trouble here.
Oh.
Not much you can do about that. Benny Cutie held on, knew that it wouldn't be a good idea to initiate, so Blacklist International finding a pick here on the top side.
Well, speaking of picks, Oh My Venus and her Bums Bunny is just all over the place. Vision and also the slows is really beneficial right now for Blacklist International, knowing that most of the members of Echo are on the rotation as of this time.
Yeah, Vision slows is a massive deterrent for how Echo want to rotate and help out Benny Cutie even more. Hence why after that little sequence, Blacklist International have gotten their gold laner out. So they're the first one to get their gold laner out of lane. However, Oheb and Benny Cutie have kept things close in terms of the gold, so it's not a massive deficit for Echo. They can still find a way to turn this around, but Blacklist, with how they're positioning and placing themselves in the map, they are in control.
Well, speaking of being in control, Blacklist is like to set up here right in the death bush. Oh, here comes Sanji spotting 1.
Another airstrike going to be returned there. Blazing Duet comes out as well. They get the pull though. Wise taking quite a bit of damage. Going to be just fine. That is the advantage of having this Fredrinn in the jungle. You're kind of that front line for them. So not only do you have to rely on, Oh My Venus there with the time journey, but you can take quite a beating as well from Echo.
Yeah.
Very tanky. I've never seen a treasure hunter be that tanky, that beefy.
Part of it is just the cool factor.
It's the cool factor.
He walks with his hand in his pocket.
Yeah, and we're taught not to do that as like
Speaking about total confidence.
Yeah, man, it's just like, I'm too cool for this. He even has like 2 shirt buttons down.
Yeah.
Imagine they just called Fredrinn Trad. Like his hero name was Chad. Chadrin.
Yeah.
Why not Chadrin?
Chadrin.
Oh,
Chadrin
here.
could be nice.
Top side, it's Chadrin going in. Fredrinn, look at the damages there. Feathered airstrike going to come down. Benny Cutie trying to survive. Under the turret he goes. But the cutoff here. Sanford and Sandy on the backside. Can they help their members out? Oheb goes back in the bush, but Carl Teasy finds him. OAB has fallen 3 down for Blacklist. Can they find Edward here? They're ultimately going to get him down. It's a double for Carl Teasy, and it's only Oh My Venus left alive.
Shades of how Brand Esports fought Blacklist International right now. Echo learned from that. The Echo counterplay. The prodigal Sans, Sanford, and Sanji coming in for the save.
Well, the double connection is working. The backline ambush entrance from Sanford is clearly getting Haji off guard.
Okay, well, they're going to utilize that feathered airstrike. Sanji did grab it as well. They can't get that mid tier 1 turret down just yet, but still, you gotta, I mean, even looking at yesterday's keys to victory for Echo, the San duo, man, Sanji and Sanford are doing massive things for the teams in terms of the sandwich plays, cutting things off. Let's take a look at these items here, Renmar.
Our Esmeralda already built up all the way to the Oracle. We need to see a little bit more dominance ISIS coming on the side of Blacklist International. We only see one there onto Edward's hands on the Benedetta.
Edward's scissor hands onto those items. Right now, he's gaining so much weight, but Haji
getting that feathered airstrike off. They're going to be able to find Yaoi. Sanford trying to help out here too. Can they get a kill themselves? Carl Teasy waiting patiently in the bush. Meanwhile, Lord is going to be marching up the top side. It is only a normal one. Should be easily handled by OEB.
Well, 2K gold lead right now for Echo. It is a factor for Blacklist International, Reptar.
Yeah, massive loss there for Echo, actually losing Yaoi there in the mid. The gold lead is not a big thing to worry about if you're Blacklist International. It's still very, very close. And of course, having an ultimate like the Appraiser's Wrath of Wise, of Fredrinn, you saw it there, a big game changer. And those taunts, those controls, if Echo aren't careful, they're just going to get blasted down like that.
Look like
Yaoi with the bait, but he's going to fall here. The team was waiting in the bush for him, but unfortunately he died anyway. Now Sanji with the feathered airstrike. Wise going to be able to get the taunt off, and he goes down. But Benny Cutie finds Oh My Venus. Do they clash down here in the mid side? Wise goes in. There's the final blow. Benny Cutie firing back. It's Carl Teasy that gets the kill. And now it's Wise and Haji defending the tier 1 for now. But Echo going to be happy with the picks.
This time around, Blacklist International learned from Brand Esports last night. All right, if we need to find a way to make a comeback, regain control of the map, find the roamer of your opponent ASAP. They did that to Ogwen in games 4 and 5, hence why Blacklist International was able to win that series. Now Yaoi needs to take a little bit more care of his positioning. I'm sure he is, but Blacklist are just a step ahead. Like if Yaoi thinks he's a step ahead, Blacklist is a step ahead in terms of the positioning already.
Yeah, make like 5 steps ahead because the burst right now can instantly kill Yaoi into the front lines. That resource of having that cold order anytime soon or being used anytime early could mean trouble for Echo just as this. Look at the taunt coming in from Wise.
Wise trying to get the attention that he can here. There's the return feathered airstrike coming out. They just going to disengage from here, not going to pull the trigger just yet. So still, what we're seeing between a lot of these teams, despite that 2.5K gold lead for Echo, is a lot of discipline, right? Also caution from Echo when they do, technically, I mean, when Carl Teasy is sitting on 7-1,
against Wise.
I mean, against Wise, even him, even Carl Teasy, someone like him is being very cautious on how they approach things. Now, next Lord comes up for the taking. Who's going to control it?
All right, now Blacklist are in control. They're the one resetting the Lord slowly. Wise way forward, already used their Appraiser's Wrath. See how much it hurts. Cool down on that though, not that long. Blacklist International can just wait it out just a little bit more. And Echo needs to be careful how they check the shrubs here, because Blacklist have a beautiful formation around this Lord right now.
So it's going to be a possible dance here, but Sanji has committed the feathered airstrike. So right now, this sets up a perimeter for Blacklist International to either bait Echo right into the Lord.
Well, right now, they're just going to play around with it for a little bit. They know they still want to kind of whittle it down. They have to wait for Echo to see if they want to actually commit to it, if they can catch them out. But right now, there's a lot of zoning here. Carl Teasy does give the go signal. On the backside, they go. Quite low. And it's Sanford that takes them out. Plus, Oh My Venus. And now that Blacklist International is down 2, this is the perfect time for Echo to secure themselves this second Lord of the game. Feathered airstrike coming out. Edward trying to get some vision here.
Wow,
Haji with the return, holding on to that tier 1. Can Blacklist International actually do anything about this?
Well,
or will Echo just go ahead and take it as they do?
Another Lord secured by Echo, and Blacklist beautiful formation around the Lord was just snapped in an instant with the gank from the mid by Sanford. You actually saw Haji toss out some abilities to try and get the stun into Sanford, missed it. Sanford was able to dodge it, hence why Echo were able to complete the sandwich play. Now going back to the items, Haji actually third built the Divine Glaive. Even Oh My Venus has a Divine Glaive. This is a Diggy roam built for damage, so Echo needs to watch out for that, hence why they have Athena shields across the board. Only the Valentina doesn't have the A shield.
Well, speaking of how Oh My Venus performed yesterday, it's always the aggressive method for the Queen on how to activate the team right now, because they needed extra burst, knowing that the other team has a next possible chance of restarting what mistaken they get.
Yeah, and this is the theme that you see with teams who go up against a Faramis. You overload on burst, or you remove the Ghost Form right away.
Okay, they're going to handle this Lord here before it even gets to the turret. Great play here from Blacklist International. Echo, though, should be able to get the tier 2 as they continue to find space across the map here. Sanford taking quite a bit of damage. Gonna have to back off. Edward goes in, though. Cult Altar comes out. There's the disengage from Blacklist International. And Echo just happy with more space on the map.
Yeah, that's the thing. They squeezed out Echo to use that Cult Altar Renner that you're talking about.
Yeah, and you see how fast the ghost form goes
Goat
down.
Stampede, goat form.
Everything goat.
A little slip there. So Echo needs to watch out for their positioning, especially with Edward's entries. Yesterday, his timing with the Ultimate of the Benedetta and then going in with a Petrify, that's what Echo really needs to watch out for here. Because if they get all clumped up together, that if Wise can set up for Edward, Edward can set up for Wise, and those two sets up for everyone in Blacklist. But Echo are handling everything really well. Their mid tower still up. Benny Cutie's positioning has been crucial here, because if Blacklist use a lot of their abilities but can't take Benny Cutie down, can't take Sanford down, that means Echo still has the ability to turn the game around.
Yeah, we're going back to keys to victory number 3. This is the master, the trade onto this game, because if they lose it, everything can be capitalized on how Echo and Blacklist International can do. Well, the games yesterday said it all. Every moment of it was total highlights.
Well, I mean, you got to say, Echo, with 6K gold ahead, they're doing an amazing job. Feathered Airstrike's going to come down here. They're looking to crash down. There's the Time's Journey. Carl Teasy now pulling back. Cult Altar is going to come down. Sanford looking for a cutoff. There's Edward as well, coming from the bottom side of the jungle. Lord is going to be coming up in about 10 seconds. They don't want to risk it here for anyone to go down, but some ultimates were committed. Can they take it here for Echo?
Okay, Echo still have the advantage of the map because they still have their mid lane turret up. Haji, even more damage going to be on him right now. Already picked up that Holy Crystal. So Echo, they're trying to sandwich like they did earlier.
Okay, they're going to crash down here. Wise getting the attention that he needs. Meanwhile, Edward pushed in the bottom side. Looks very similar to what we saw yesterday. So Echo's got to play around this very carefully. If they can secure this Lord, it's going to be a massive push in the base of Blacklist.
Yeah,
look at that.
It's getting to the point also where the split pushes of Edwards are calling the attention of Sanford in the side lanes. Without Sanford down, you lose one of your best tools in terms of splitting the formation of Blacklist International, that Esmeralda. So Edwards' constant pressure in the bottom lane might be the big thing here, determining factor if Echo will be able to get the Lord or not, because that means they'll be down a key component of taking down the formation of Blacklist.
Yeah, it is the thing called Edward diversion play yesterday that he keeps on going, because one thing that we're looking after, if this thing happens again, they're respecting the team fighting capability of Echo that they can do as of now.
Massive.
Wow, they already get that Time's Journey that was taken, but look at that, Benny Cutie with a big damn coming out, taking out Oh My Venus. So even though they got the ultimate out from Sanji, they lose Oh My Venus. Lord's still going to be pushed and pulled between. Edward still doing an amazing job pushing here. Sanji has to flicker her out. There's the response. Can they get the kill?
Edward.
Electo final blow,
Truncheon.
but it's a Winter Truncheon comes out. Is Edward going to go down? He does. Sanji with the outplay.
He's
taking out Edward, but they're still going here. Now Wise going to be focusing on Sanford. Gets the knock up. Sanford has nowhere to go as he falls along the wall, and now the Lord still for the taking here.
All right, frontliner down for the side of Echo. Yawi will have to play some sacrificial plays here for his team. Meanwhile, Blacklist still do have their Fredrinn, their very tanky jungler Fredrinn.
Oh man, they get the time journey out from Oh My Venus. That is crucial, but now there's the Cult Altar in response. Yawi's gonna get taken down here. They're down members across the board, and they lose a turret in the mid lane with the push from Blacklist International.
The members of Echo have the ability to contest this Lord, but can they even get close enough because there's a lot of zoning out provided by the Diggy and the Fredrinn?
Oh, what's going to happen now? What's the call of Echo? They're on concealed play. Oh, my Venus!
Carl TZ goes in, grab the kill himself. Lord's still going to be half health here. Like the final blow going to be committed along with the Blazing Duet. Can they grab the kills? That's Sanji that falls. Yawi goes down too. Benny Cutie trying to turn it around.
No ultimate for
providing the firepower. Carl TZ still alive. No one just yet to get this Lord. Constant fights back and forth.
It's a back and forth, but Blacklist only just keep losing Edward or Oh My Venus. Echo are having a problem taking down that Fredrinn. Wise is positioning himself. His timing in team fights, he's always going in, out, in, out. He's just toying right now with Echo in terms of playing around with their expectations.
Oh, Carl TZ, he gets taken out. Immortality going to be popped. Edward now going to be focused. Winter Trontic committed. Oheb with the backup. Edward falls. Oheb still going to be alive for now. Wise working on this Lord. It's most likely going to go in the hands of Blacklist International.
Good zoning there by the code. Blacklist International secures the Lord. 21 minutes in. This is going to be a defense plus a freeze lane.
That was like a 5 or 6 minute fight for the Lord.
A very long Lord dance. Massive cha-cha there by Blacklist International. The feet work. Yes, feet work.
We got the best dancers in the Philippines.
Yeah.
That
in the
is
world.
true.
The world.
There's no other place where the dance floor is hotter.
Then
It's
the
in
Philippines.
It is the Philippines. Come visit the Philippines right now.
It's really hot here.
Yes, look at the poll. Coming in from my speaking of being hot. This is the Lord push with Blacklist International. How hot can this be against Echo?
Echo have 5 members. They'll be able to defend this. They just need to be careful with their positioning.
Okay, now they're on the defense here. Feathered airstrike in return on both sides. Who's going to be able to get the kill here? Sanji's still able to survive. Lord has been taken care of. Echo with a successful defense for now. And they're going to be happy with it. Again, that was just, what, the 3rd Lord of the game. The next one's going to be very, very crucial for either team as everybody sets in. Another turret secured for Blacklist International.
There's so much damage coming in from the side of Blacklist. Haji, again, another feathered airstrike.
Yeah.
Wise deep into the base there. They initiate here. Sanford with the falling sword. Edward goes in. Nice petrify. They happy with the turn on the top side. They've got one more to focus on in the bottom lane. And then Echo's base is completely exposed.
Echo still holding on, but little by little, Blacklist International are whittling down their defenses. Feathered airstrike from Haji still on point. Rome Diggy built for magic damage on point. Oheb's entries on point. Blacklist is on point.
Feathered airstrike once again coming
Dropping
out,
down
pushing
the
them
base
up
of Echo.
back here. The turret is going to be taken down. And just like that, in surgical precision, 1, 2, 3 turrets gone for Echo.
It's not
How's
even a
this?
gold lead thing anymore. It's just execution now at this point. Items all already locked in. A lot of magic defense on the side of Echo. Looking at the Diggy, Enchanted Talisman, Necklace of Durans, and the Holy Crystal. Everyone's got what they need at this point. You'll just be seeing the juggles of the Immortalities, Winter Truncheons at this point.
Yeah, as of now, looking back on those items, Echo has a physical immunity defense as of now for magic and damage. So who's going to be the front line here? If Yawi gets the sacrifice and pops the Cult Altar too early, is it going to be hard? There's no one to be up front for Echo.
Yeah, and that's a great point. That's what Blacklist International have been doing. They've been popping. They've been forcing Yawi to pop that Cult Altar off way too early. Every feathered airstrike so far has led to Yawi having to use the Cult Altar.
Yeah, this is one thing that they need to be careful of. They need to be cautious on how Echo wants to attack Blacklist International right now, because Edward is just doing the same thing all over and over again.
Yeah.
The split.
Exactly. The pressure that he's putting on here. And unfortunately for Sanford, he really can't do that in return. He has to react to Edward, and that's kind of what we're seeing here. And now things have settled down a little bit. This next Lord comes up for this game at 24 minutes in. This one is massive. It's going to be charged up, beefed up, and again, Echo doesn't have any turrets. There's the feathered airstrike coming out. Yawi taking quite a bit of damage himself. Sanji holding on to the time journey. There's the cold weather as well. They're pulling it off so far. They're going to disengage. Wise isn't even around the Lord. Gets the flicker out from Yawi. No one committing to it just yet. Just pushing and pulling, getting as many resources and spells out as they can.
So many ultimates utilized, and look, the massive problem of having that going up against Diggy and Farsa. Haji just on point right now, and because of the damage built Diggy, it's hard for Echo to enter, but here they are.
Benny Cutie comes in with a heavy crossbow. Who grabs it? No, oh my, Venus gets a kill. Plus Wise, 2 fall for Echo, and Carl Teasy isn't there to contest the Lord anymore. So that's going to be a free Lord for Blacklist International to march into the base.
2 kills and a push up top. How massive is this for Blacklist International?
This isn't the first time we've seen Fredrinn jungle in the MPL stage. This was played, if I'm not mistaken, in MPL Cambodia and MPL Myanmar, or the Myanmar qualifiers rather, as well. So, and it's nothing new, this Fredrinn jungle, but this Fredrinn jungle played by the hands of Wise is dominating right now. The timing of the Appraiser's Wrath.
Oh, this is a bit of a, oh my gosh, a hiccup for Echo.
Massive hiccup.
Water can be the solution here, but how can they defend this? How can they hold the line
only
here?
3 versus 5 for a couple more seconds. Edward going to go in with an electrifying blow. He's going to focus on the crystal, and that's going to be it. Game 1 going to the hands of Blacklist International.
And just as that, Blacklist International is gaining momentum.